Governor Chris Christie, former Governor Christie of New Jersey, is with us. Governor, you know, I understand Mike Tobin just interviewed a guy extremely articulate and passionate about how he feels, a guy that has served this country. And I see the crowds there, and I saw this guy was armed. And I think about all the people in the city, and I think about what's happening. Can you explain the process of what the president's expedited investigation means in the hopes that good people won't get hurt in these protests or any innocent people hurt?
Absolutely, Sean. What the president will now have done is Director Wray will put a flood of FBI agents, both from their field office in Minneapolis and from the headquarters in Washington, D.C., to interview anyone who was in that crowd, anyone in the area, attempt to interview the officers involved themselves. They may or may not permit themselves to be interviewed if they've already retained lawyers, which I suspect they have. Look at all of the forensic evidence, and then immediately go to the U.S. attorney in Minnesota, who has already assigned, I'm confident, assistant U.S. attorneys to work with the FBI on this case and to get it in front of a grand jury as quickly as possible. And that's what they're going to be doing right now. And the only way to make that happen quickly is to throw a lot of resources at it. And I'm confident that Attorney General Barr has instructed the U.S. attorney to do that when it comes to prosecutors, and that Director Wray has done it when it applies to agents.
You know, and this is important to note, too. You have worked in varying forms of being in charge of law enforcement. I think it's important for people to understand. I've talked a lot the last 3 years about the 1% of people that abuse their power and were corrupt, and we see the damage of 1%. That has not been my experience in law enforcement. It's the opposite. The 99% that do their job and protect and serve. And I know at moments like this, people forget that part. But it looks also, too, where's the training of these guys? How do you not know the neck is that sensitive?
And Sean, where is the officers that are standing near this guy who are willing to stand up and stop him? You know, that's the problem, too. Now, this guy doing what he done is an awful act, but it's just as awful to be there as an officer, hear a guy saying he cannot breathe while he's handcuffed on the ground, and to not intervene and stop your fellow officers from doing it. Your obligation to the law applies not just to the citizens that you're protecting every day. It applies to making sure that law is enforced against your colleagues in the police department.
All right, Governor, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.